Quarter one. We are recording.
Yep. Yeah, I'm recording.
Got good levels?
Nope. We'll do it.
Do you have good levels? Yeah, you do.
A little hot.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
First off, we're
Get to
sorry.
the show in a second, but thanks very much for showing up. It's a bit of MU family here, and it's much appreciated.
Half of us are missing, though. Most of us are
Yes,
still downstairs.
as you know, John and Dan could not make it. Is anybody listening to this for the first time ever? Fantastic!
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We'll try not to disappoint you too much.
We are a podcast about Call of Cthulhu and other Lovecraft. Oh, actually, we were about to say that.
Do you want to just do it?
Okay, well, let's just start.
You want to just start?
All right.
All right, you ready? Hello and welcome to the Miskatonic University Podcast, episode 86 or 87, we're not really sure. This is the podcast dedicated to the Call of Cthulhu and other horror and Lovecraft-related role-playing games. I'm Keeper Murf.
And I'm Keeper Chad. And we are at NecronomiCon 2015 live with a live audience in front of us.
That crowd sound, that's awesome.
I know, it's
That's
great.
fantastic. We have some other stuff here. How did this happen? This is Chad's weird notes, I guess.
Well,
How did this happen?
yeah, so we don't know how we snuck in here, but we're gonna try to entertain you for about an hour. Normally our shows are not an hour; they go however long we want to go.
Usually 2.5 hours.
And we start at 5 in the morning and go till whenever we run out of gas.
So trying to make this into 1 hour is going to be very interesting.
Yes, indeed.
We'll either fall way short or have nowhere near enough time.
We hope we'll have some questions at the end, and that's how we'll be able to wrap up.
Lots and lots of questions.
But we have a little bit of programming ahead of that. This episode, we're going to have a history segment with a volunteer Miskatonic University Jazz Orchestra with some Foley sound effects.
It's you guys.
I need like half the crowd to do sound effects.
It's very ambitious. And for our main show topic, we're going to go ahead and summon a new mythos entity and answer a few questions at the very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the big idea.
That's it. We also are sponsored this show.
Yeah,
Turns out we're sponsored by Jeff Mueller at Golden Goblin Press. And
just moments ago.
this lovely bottle of Mount Gay, which he delivered by hand.
Jeff Mueller at Golden Goblin Press, because on
The 9th.
the 9th of
Some.
September,
Oh yeah, look, September 9th.
Yeah.
The Kickstarter launches for Tales of the Caribbean from Golden Goblin Press. Yay. What's that?
are there authors in the audience?
I have no idea.
Anyway.
Is there any authors in the audience?
Yes, there is. We'll just
is.
say
We'll
yes.
just say yes.
There are indications there are authors in the room.
Is it your
Yeah, and so I guess we're gonna do the history
history
segment.
thing?
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to need, I think, 6 volunteers for sound effects. So
And I have absolutely no idea what is going on here. So
you are a volunteer.
I am completely in the dark on this one.
You will be our first volunteer, and you can. Actually, I think it would be best if you stand. Put that, right in front of you, and you know the deal on that one. And please,
Yes.
come on up.
Awesome.
I will give you a frog.
I know this thing.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. So you know it strikes in one direction, best, right? So, yes. And for this one, kind of a fast. Perfect. It's kind of a bracketing instrument. Next, somebody else. Come on up. And you get the clacker.
Oh, cool.
And if you would sit here, actually, I will cue you. If
No,
that-
he knows me. He's one will sit over there.
I see.
Keep my hands to myself.
So you guys are kind of a pair. It's sort of call and response. So when I touch you on the shoulder, great, excellent. Okay. And anybody ever played a musical saw before? Have you? Have you? Would you? I thought you might have.
That might be a story in its own.
There's no bow.
Why are
This
you-
is a.
He's from Maine, everybody. explains everything.
Why are you ashamed? That is something to be proud of. No one else here can do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you play with a wooden spoon. Have you done that before? So, you know the S-curve deal?
Like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so you can put it between your knees if that works. No, so that's just a striker.
On the
this
bed.
surface. Yeah. So make an S.
That's why I've been
Shoot.
ambitious.
Do you want a shorter?
Hey.
That's the one. My friend. There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Give me good bends, like just like that. When I touch you on the shoulder, give me about 6 of those, 6 strikes, and you'll come up a few times. So I need someone else.
Is that
Come from this side, Corey.
Sure, why not?
Have you been in the orchestra before?
Strangled.
No,
Is this your second time in the orchestra?
Yeah.
Alright. So, you are the creepy noose instrument. I think the way this is going to work best is for you to actually strike the table.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
just
No
like,
risk involved
just have a
there.
seat.
Oh, okay.
Get one of the chairs, because it's otherwise it's really quiet.
Okay.
And just, nope, that didn't work. Let's double it up. And you're just basically going to flop down on the table this way.
Alright.
That's it, that's it. Oh, right here. Alright, another volunteer, please.
Don't get really mad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Another volunteer. Yes, please. Brian, come on up.
Sure, yeah, yours.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me.
Sorry, I got excited.
You didn't want any help earlier. I just want to reinforce that.
I'm leaving.
I know, right? So did you lose 2 then, Chad?
Well, it was nice being up here then.
Hang on,
What about
don't go away.
It's adaptive.
You're gonna be an important one.
Oh,
Do you get this one here? You ever seen one of these?
No. What is it?
Okay.
How do you do?
So if you just do a little shake, just
That's
cool. Yeah, that's your sound. Let's push you a little bit forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I touch you on the shoulder, give me about 2 of those. Give me. Actually, if you do it less energy, it kind of builds. Perfect. When I touch you on the shoulder, you'll do 2 of those each time.
2 of them each time.
Huh? Just one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, wait, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I need another volunteer. Please. And so when I touch you on the shoulder, this little thing makes a sound like. Okay. So give me about 3 of these when I touch you on the shoulder. You can either turn this or twist this. Basically, the sound of this kind of sticky. Yeah. Great. So about 3 of those when I touch you on the shoulder. You'll have 2 of those. You'll also have 2. And let's just do this.
Do it.
All right.
You want
Sure
the mic,
hope I
Chad?
brought my script. I sure hope I did. Yes. Okay.
I have to get ready for
Brilliant.
the new fans.
It's going to take me a little bit of setup. We're going to edit this down, so it's going to be really tight when you hear it on the podcast. There's going to be big gaps and pauses.
No, you're ruining the illusion.
Part of the illusion. Like you made that thinking, oh, no one will love it about it.
Here, do you want the live mic?
Yeah, I do. But you're going to need to be here. I think actually what I'm going to do is pull this back a little bit and just project into it. Yeah? So go ahead and stand.
You didn't practice it.
Perfect.
He says record.
Good. Go. Are we ready?
Are you ready?
I think I might have to hunt for
Are
people,
you sure?
but yeah. All right.
You're gonna get one shot at this, and then we're gonna stop.
Yeah. There might be multiple takes, man. It's, movie magic.
There's not.
All right. Ready?
Sure.
Here we go. In the winter-scourged boreal forests of North America, there are legends of famished creatures that crave human flesh. These spirits are said to be giant, greedy, gluttonous things whose hunger cannot be satisfied. They grow to giant proportions, but become ever thinner the more they eat. So thin that if they turn sideways, they appear to disappear. They're gaunt, desiccated, skin pale like that of a corpse, and they give off a stench of foul decay. They are called by many names, but you will know them as Wendigo.
Nice.
The legends are familiar to many First Nation tribes, including the Buffalo people of the Great Lakes. Some Wendigo start out as humans. People perhaps forced to eat human flesh in times of starvation. They become obsessed, possessed. Over time, the irresistible craving consumes them, even when other food is plentiful. More than legend, these creatures have made their mark on history. 2 Wendigo incidents tainted Canada's relations with First Nations.
Oh, Chad.
In 1878, deep in the wilderness of what became Alberta, a Cree hunter known as Swift Runner sheltered in a winter camp with his wife and 6 children. It was a brutal winter and a time of starvation for many Cree. When spring came, Swift Runner was found alone at his camp. Mounted police searched the area and found a human skull and bones scattered around. Some of the bones were hollow, sucked empty of marrow. A child's moccasin had been stuffed inside the skull of Swift Runner's mother, a beading needle still sticking out of the unfinished project. He confessed that the Wendigo had visited him in his dreams, demanding that he haunt and kill and eat the people around him. Finally, he said, there was no Swift Runner, only Wendigo. Young sons to kill his own infant brother, hang him from a lodge pole, and butcher him. One by one, the Wendigo ate each member of the family. Swift Runner was arrested. He was brought to trial at Fort Saskatchewan, where he was convicted and sentenced to death. The execution was nearly botched. The weather was so cold that someone at the fort had burned pieces of the gallows for fuel. Swift Runner told his executioners that it was cruel to make him wait in the bitter cold for his death. He was eventually hanged. It was the first formal execution in Western Canada and an omen of corroding relations. Then in 1907, an elderly Cree man was arrested for murder along with his brother. That man's name was Jack Fiddler, a powerful shaman who was known for his ability to attract woodland animals and cast protective spells. But he was also known as a Wendigo hunter, someone powerful enough to defeat the peckish spirits. Fiddler claimed to have defeated 14 Wendigos in his lifetime. He said that some had been sent by enemy shaman to kill him. But many of the Wendigos he had defeated, including the one he was under trial for killing, had inhabited sick family members. who had asked to be killed before they turned. Newspapers across the country covered the case with sensational flourishes about murder and the worship of devils. Fiddler's brother was convicted and executed. Jack Fiddler, the last Wendigo hunter, escaped captivity while awaiting trial and hanged himself by a nearby tree. It was a clash between two systems of justice, each with its own appetites and remedies. In the end, one consumed the other. There is something about this creature that gets under our skin. Cannibalism puts us all back in the food chain, and that's frightening. But this monster, the kind that Swift Runner and Jack Fiddler fought in their own way, isn't the kind that comes looming over the horizon. This monster is always close at hand. This monster comes from the inside. It lurks in the shadows of our own guts, always just a few skipped meals away. Do you think you could defeat it on your own? To discuss the perils of addiction to human flesh and other inconveniences, stop by the Unnatural History Honor Society, where bold speculation is welcome.
Thank you.
I have to mention that I call this Murfakwa. Right? Eh? You see it? You see it?
Used to be a
You
lot
see it?
longer.
You see it? Oh no. I forgot to use this. All right. Back to the script, or the non-script. There's no script. So, we are, for our topic, or topic number 1, we're starting to do not main topic and secondary topic, but first and second topic. Anyway, wow, I wish I could delete that. Anyway, for our first topic, we are going to, because we assume that because you're at Necronomicon, we basically got this awesome mythos brain trust in our audience. And so instead of us kind of talking about what we think and brainstorming, and it turns out that our brainstorming issues, or brainstorming episodes, have been the most popular, or we have heard through feedback that that's what people like. So we figured we would do a group brainstorm and come up with a mythos entity. I want to say, oh wow, that's a lot more, okay.
There is a mic.
There's a mic, apparently.
Yes.
So we are going to make a mythos entity. We have a sort of like little questionnaire. We'll just go through a little system and see if we can come up with actually something new, something that gamers can use as a big bad, or as an inspiration for a scenario, or or take it in a different direction entirely. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start by asking for some suggestions,
Yeah,
right?
crowd suggestions.
Yeah. All right. Let me get the
You
mic.
gotta do the, do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
I'll do the roving mic. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Happy to.
Let me write this down then.
What are you writing down?
I don't know.
Oh, write down the, yeah, write the
Suggestions.
notes, that'd be nice.
It'd be nice if we knew what the hell we were doing.
Yeah. Do you want to ask the questions? And then,
Sure.
And like the unpronounceable, you know what's going on.
It's like we haven't done this 8 times already.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break down a name. We're going to start with the name first. We're going to do one person to give us an unpronounceable consonant sound. Just something that you can't actually speak out loud, but you can spell.
Series of consonants. Anyone?
Random.
NG.
Say again?
NG.
NG. That's A last name of someone I know. So yes. Okay. And next?
A syllable with vowel in it.
Syllable with a vowel in it.
Anyone?
Anyone?
No holdbacks.
L-O?
TLO.
T-L-O. Slow. Okay. That's kind of Aztec. I like that.
And then another syllable with a vowel in it.
Got one. YX.
Y-X. So what do we have so far?
Look at the glocks.
Okay, so we've got a name. We're starting with a name first.
Then we would need a basic form. So if this is like gas, solid energy, matter,
Yeah.
etc.
Basic form. What do we want to start with? Anyone? Just shout it out.
Plasma.
Plasma. I had a feeling, I don't know why, I just knew plasma was going to come up. Okay, so it is pure energy, like middle of the sun, kind of nuclear. Okay. I think, what's that?
This is a new one.
Yeah, I did that. Yes or no?
No, no.
No? Okay.
Does it have an alternate form?
Okay, an alternate form. Could be an avatar, could be... Say again? A smell.
Its alternate form is a smell.
Is a smell.
Okay. The smell of what?
Kind of smell out of space. I get it.
What is the smell though?
Huh?
What is the smell?
Death.
Sure. What is the smell?
Death.
It's smell of death.
Corpse flower.
Or lilac.
Of corpse flower. That's actually pretty good, right? And lilac. Somebody say lilac. Yeah, corpse flower and lilac.
This is working out real well.
I like it. Okay, now we need an existing folklore. So anything that is actually in the world, from angels to, let's not go with Wendigo, but something like that. Some creature, cryptozoology.
Trolls.
Wait, jackalope?
Okay.
Jackalope it is.
Yeah. Cheetah?
Kachinas.
Go Kachina.
Do we have anything better than jackalope?
Yeah.
Troll.
Do we have anything better than
Hello
jackalope?
Kitty.
Better than jackalope?
Chupacabra.
It's Chiquina. I would love to go with the Chiquina.
I do like that one myself. I
Yeah?
will renounce mine.
You would it?
I will happily renounce the jackalope for that.
I feel like there may be a jackalope element coming in here at the
Fair
end.
enough.
I don't know. We'll
right.
figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
now we're into themes. Huh?
yeah.
All right. So now, because we are at NecronomiCon, we're hoping we'll get some ideas for Lovecraftian themes or mythos themes of mythos fiction, anything from cosmic horror to, but
Lack of sex.
what?
See, we're trying not to go
Lack
that
of
direction
sex.
with this in front of
Lack
a live
of sex.
audience. But
Very Lovecraftian.
Yeah, it is. It is. Let's build that in. I like it.
fair enough.
So,
Yeah.
so if you've got a Kachina cut type theme, and you got something southwestern like Yig, you could put this like in a kiva, like a secret kiva amongst the Pueblo Indians, like the kiva of energy, death energy, which this represents.
Hold up, you're doing our job for us here.
I like it. I need more information about Kiva, though.
It's like a ceremonial chamber amongst the people who are worshiping Kachinas that a Kachina might have to go through. Like there's a kiva of snakes, a kiva of the sun,
It's like a test or a
something like that. I'm going on
room with a
a
sponsor.
room or a chamber or a place
Yeah.
where a godlike entity might have to go through these things to ascend.
Okay. Sure. So we've got.
Listen, I have lack of sex. That's the only one I have right now.
Write down Kiva. Kiva.
Okay.
Yeah. Chambers of Ascension. So we got our dungeon. We got our evidence dungeon.
What are its goals and drives?
Yeah, what is this plasma thing that shows up in the form of a smell when it really wants to become like,
Somehow
it
associated.
wants to manifest?
Well, it's incomprehensible to us.
To drive jilted lovers to suicide.
But see, if it's an entity, it doesn't need a drive. It could just be that you're going through the kiva. You think you're going in your religion's ascension, and it ends up being just a wrong place that you end up, and it just happens to be sitting there waiting to feed.
Okay. I like combining those if that's all right, and we're gonna take This driving jilted lovers to commit suicide, I think that maybe there's a kiva that's a kind of... people go into these kivas too, or
I
priests?
think it is ceremonial.
Okay, so you have lovers who become enamored through a spell, through influence of this thing, and they are driven, they become, I guess moving on to like human interaction, they become...
It's like following a scripted.
yeah, as part of the religion that exists, that they become...
Fertility rights.
Huh?
Fertility rights.
Sure, they have to go in, so they need to produce an heir or an avatar or something, and so they go into this kiva in order to make that happen. And what was the rest of your thought there?
Well, maybe something happens during the procedures that gets into their heads, makes them think they've been jilted, and drives them to suicide. And that's the
Yes.
final step of the ceremony.
Right.
Life ends so that life can begin again.
So they end up in this kiva, and perhaps the tribe, through legends, is looking for the one couple that doesn't off themselves, that's strong enough to overcome the energies of the kiva.
I'm trying to remember what tribe it's called, but there's one that used to have vision quests that would go through a cave, and whatever methane gases were there, they would lose their...
Nice.
They would literally go on vision quests because of the lack of oxygen going to their
Nice.
brain. That would certainly fit in with Matthew's thing.
Yes,
of
that stench out of space.
It's a stench out of space, and
Yeah.
they're going basically on vision quests from this plasma from outer space.
Yes. I think these lovers maybe smell, is it lilacs, or was it lilacs?
Flower and lilac.
I thought it was corpse flowers.
Corpse flower and
I know.
lilac.
It's
And
cauliflower and lilac.
Lovers smell, the way they're chosen is, the lovers smell lilacs, everyone else smells corpse flower.
Oh,
So when they are drawn to the
so you know
cave,
who's chosen.
they are chosen. This is in fact just the smell, it's a sort of pheromone. It's calling it the couple that it wants. The little secret is, it's never going to choose one that will survive the suicidal habit.
I think that would
How does
actually
it beat
go
up?
into its attacks as well.
It's great.
You know, because that would be, if you smell lilac, you survive. If you smell corpse flower, you're dead.
Right. Okay, so imagining actually facing this thing in kind of a game way, what kind of harm can this do to humans? We have the inspiration to off oneself. Does it also manipulate the tribe in other ways, pick priests, that sort of thing? What specific attacks? Either spells or, you know.
Maybe different members of the tribe chosen at random will smell either a corpse flower or a lilac, even if they're not participating in this fertility rite. So people get it into their heads that if I smell this, I live, if I smell that, I can die. So these people who are randomly smelling these things are driving themselves crazy, thinking, oh man, I'm gonna die because I smell a corpse flower.
So it's a curse. If you smell a corpse flower, the legend is that you will die.
Yes, but the thing is, they're not necessarily going to die except unless they're doing the fertility rite, but they don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that for sure.
So it's a fear
It's like
attack.
an urban legend.
Uh-huh.
My cousin smelled corpse flower when he died.
Sure.
So they
Okay.
spread that around themselves and they gradually go crazy thinking, oh no, I smelled this and I died.
Okay. So it's a kind of a sanity attack based on the cultural backdrop that is also there.
I
I feel like plasma is an effective weapon.
Plasma itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like its core essence there could be.
I think if you
weapon.
smell
Lilacs or corpse flowers, the visions
Yeah.
show a stupid rabbit with horns.
How could we put?
Fish.
Or fish, in the case may be.
Yes.
A fish that has
What about
antlers.
fish with
Yes.
antlers? A jackfish.
A chackafish, even better. It's a mermaid rabbit.
That would be official.
That actually would be pretty creepy. Come to think of it.
Well, when rabbits scream, they sound like children.
Yeah.
So that would be damn creepy.
How do you know that?
I am a child and I have a rabbit. I used to have a rabbit. So, rabbit is in a better place.
Okay. Yikes. Moving on to this
I
side.
told you not to ask. So, are we still plasma, or have we changed to some proto-weird jackalope fish thing?
The thing is, as far as what, no, the jackalopes are like, it's minions, or it's, they're creatures
Confused yet.
Huh?
I said I'm confused. I'm not sure where we're
No,
going.
it's not. It doesn't become. It isn't a jackalope itself, a jackafish itself. The jackafish,
This-
obviously.
wait.
Why do I have to explain
I
this?
think I can fix this for you.
Jackfish
There you
are like
go.
the rats in the walls. Jackfish are like the rats in the walls.
They're there.
And then the creature is more like the Magna Mayor.
Nice.
So how about?
Okay, so how are we getting jackafish in the walls?
How about instead of, so you got plasma, you want plasma in there, you smell the stuff, and then it's not like a plasma being comes and like mauls you, it's just more of like an internal combustion, human
Right.
combustion,
Burns from the
spontaneous,
inside.
yeah.
Spontaneous combustion.
Spontaneous human combustion.
And your remains are left looking like a fishalope.
No, so we just fishalops to one side, maybe, I think the point was like you have a vision quest, you can see all sorts of crazy stuff, sure.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
In the kiva, there's a little pool of water, and jackafish show up and destroy you if you
Only
don't
if you smell
destroy
loud.
yourself.
Only if you smell loud, you see jackfish.
Huh? It is getting weird. Did you expect it not to get weird? So, should we review?
What weaknesses?
What witnesses?
Weaknesses.
Oh, yeah.
Weaknesses.
Weaknesses, yeah. How do you?
The
you
point
can't
is you
smell
have to
your
ablate your sense of smell.
Huh? Say
You
again.
have to ablate your sense of smell. So you either plug your nostrils with wax
Yeah.
or
Has to be
put something like mint or
Sure.
pine needles up there.
Right.
You can't smell these smells. It can't access power to you. You have the chance of capping over the pool with stones.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. To keep the jackafish away.
Well, to do something or other useful before it kills you.
Depending on how desperate you are, you might in fact your nose in with a stone. to try to
Sure.
destroy your sense of
Sure, I
smell.
love
As long as you can't smell it, you're
Absolutely.
safe.
You don't
Is that what
matter.
you're saying?
A smell so bad. Just
It's smell-based. You can't smell it, you're safe.
The antlers of the jackafish drive the local economy.
yeah. Sure. They're traded a lot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, with
because
trappers,
it's very
perhaps.
dangerous to get them because of the smell.
The antlers themselves.
The jackafish, yes.
Yes.
It's such an odd combination of antler and scales of fish. It's very
No,
rare.
just the antlers.
Yes,
really helps us?
very rare.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be doing shots later to make this make sense.
Do it.
Yeah, we need a point of clarification.
already
Is
ahead
it a
of
jackafish or is it a fishalope?
Sorry, it's a fishalope. A jackfish just sounds wrong.
Because Jack Rabbit.
Yeah. I love how jackafish sounds, but yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
a fishalope.
Fish.
Yeah. So the weakness is what basically you can't smell it, you're safe, right?
Yeah, so you can protect against smell-based, it's kind of pheromone attacks by, yeah, so there are a few shaman in the tribe that don't have noses.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you know. Those are the elders.
Now, how does it interact or affect humans in general?
Well,
Kind of been that,
we've
right?
kind of been there.
All right, so
I
let's
knew
do
that
a
was happening.
rundown. You want to do a rundown?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Please go ahead.
So its name is Ingulgulus. Is that close enough?
Sure.
That's weird.
It's unpronounceable.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's basically a plasma-based entity, which it shows up
Yeah.
as corpse flower and lilac smells randomly.
Yeah.
So if you smell corpse flower, you're dead because you burn from the inside out, and your
Plasma-wise.
husk is left looking like a jackalope. No, sorry, fishalope, right?
And smelling like
And smelling like lilacs, which is interesting. And it has a tendency to drive jilted lovers to suicide. If you smell corpse flower for some reason in the kiva, I don't know, this is going crazy. But if you cut your nose off, you're good, right? That's really it.
Like your face.
That's the name of the scenario right there.
Just
To spite your face.
Done.
It's a little Easter egg clue for, yeah.
Moving on.
Okay. Oh, that's it.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
So,
What
yeah.
time do we have? What time
Good
is
luck
it?
using that.
20.
20 of is perfect
Yeah, that's great.
for questions.
Yeah, so let's just do questions real quick because anybody actually has any.
Does anybody have questions about that we could answer?
One question.
Sure, I'm extremely interested in the secret origin of your podcast. How did you guys all connect from such odd places?
We answered a forum post on YSDC.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan had put out a call for people interested a number of years ago on YSDC after they went behind the paywall, I guess.
No,
Right before, actually.
Yeah, it was before.
It just kind of worked out that way, and that was it.
So that's your qualifications?
That's it.
Yeah.
See, it shows.
Posts on forum about games, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was a late edition.
Yeah, he came in after the fact, after doing one of the history segments, and then we brought him in full board.
I heard about it on News from Dakotas, which was Chris Lackey and Paul McLean. What? Oh, okay. I'm really amplifying to myself. I can hear myself really well. Yeah, so anyway, I answered, I heard it on News from Dakotas, said, whoa, there's another podcast thing, maybe I can contribute some little segments. That really was all that I had planned. And so I think around episode 4 or 5, I sent Dan a thing. Oh, it was actually just a comment.
It was a huge email or something.
It was an audio email, and then yeah, then I started to do the talk to Dan and started doing history segments and joined a few months later. So also qualifications is that I answered an email. Sent an email.
The lesson is answer more emails. You never know what you might get looped into on accident. Anything else? No questions? We go in the back.
Yes.
Run, Chad.
Hi. So, first time keeper as of last night.
Right on.
I had a question about the haunting because I didn't run it.
Good job, or I'm sorry. I'm not sure which one to say. Go ahead.
The introductory one that I give you with right? So after telling your players there's a haunted house, go. Why would they not immediately just go to the haunted house? Right? How do you keep them from doing that? Or
Oh my.
How many of you immediately go to the haunted house?
So
We're just having this conversation.
Because I found it hard to, like, as a player myself, I would be like, all right, let's go to the house. And then being told, well, no, you do all this research and it might drive you crazy, and there's no benefit to it, and then you go to the house anyway, right? But what's the...
This is everyone's problem with the haunting, I think.
Right.
So.
That's why I didn't run it, so...
Good. It's not my favorite. It's one that I would run later on.
I run that scenario.
Well, interestingly enough, I think there's going to be a panel later this weekend about best introductory adventures. I happen to know.
Today.
Hey, can I leave the haunting's on it? So I just did.
You're prepared for that, right?
Oh, is it a maybe?
I don't want to give it away.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
But it did come up in conversation.
I bet it did. So yeah, it's kind of, I wouldn't say that everybody says that it's problematic.
Like it,
I happen to believe that it has some problems, and that's one of them. But with any scenario, when you read it and see problems, the solution is to anticipate, either do a different one, which you did, or just anticipate the problem and work out a creative solution around it. I think you can, there is actually benefit to the research.
It's a good intro because it'll give you an idea of what you might have to do in other scenarios in order to succeed.
And it also does contain...
But it is a little cliche at the same time that you have to do this for no apparent reason.
Well, you should have a strong hook from the real estate guy. But another thing that it does, and sorry if people here have not read it, but one of the things that it does is if you do go straight there, it's got a kind of solution that I won't spoil, but it's got an event that happens to you that may give you pause. That I remember when I first played it. That's exactly my keeper's actually in the audience. That's actually what happened. Is we were like, well, we just gotta go check it out. It's a haunting, and we did. And the thing happened, and somebody was damaged. And they were like, maybe we should go back to the library.
So last time I read it, they did the same exact thing. They showed up too early, and I added a crap load of zombies and made it okay. And then they all died.
Common theme.
You must learn as a keeper to crush your players.
The trick is you have to crank it up all the way. You do a couple of scary bits and just enough to give them a bit to think about, and they'll back off.
Right.
Rather than go.
I think sometimes it's natural for people to ask why something is going on. I mean, every good haunted house always has like a tragic story behind it or a legend behind it. So I think, just even as getting out of the game, as we hear about haunted houses and haunted places, it's sort of like, what happened there? Or what's the background of this place? So I think we bring that sometimes to that scenario. I mean, yeah, can you go right to the house and start messing around in the house? Absolutely. But I think in the times that I've run it with some folks, on a couple of different occasions, usually somebody pipes up with, well, there's got to be a story behind this. There's got to be some reason for this stuff happening, and that's when they'll go out and they'll start hitting the library and the hall of records and start asking around with the neighbors. So there's that sort of human element of wanting to know not just what is happening and maybe shutting it down, but why this is happening.
Excellent. Good answer. Yep.
Other questions? Oh, Tim.
Oh, yeah. You guys have been doing the podcast for about almost 3 years now? Is that correct? Over 3 years. And I'm just curious, what do you guys think or what surprised you most since, in that 3 years of doing the Miskatonic, I'm sorry, the Emmy award-winning Miskatonic?
The biggest thing for me is actually people showing up to stuff like this.
Yeah, the biggest surprise is interest, and that's not false modesty. It's like,
That's the truth.
yeah, it surprises us. I mean, we just like to talk about it. Call of Cthulhu and horror gaming is something I can just talk about. And I think people who love the game, I think all of you, I know many of you, and I know you can do it too, right? You can talk for hours about Call of Cthulhu and about mythos things. So it's kind of endless. So we just show up and do that, and it is surprising how many
At a
people listen.
really obscene hour of the day.
Yes, we do get
3 in
up
the
early.
afternoon.
But yeah, the surprise is the response. Also, I'm going to say this, that it's kind of surprising and a little uncomfortable to end up in a position where one is regarded as, not an expert, but an authority.
Oh, yeah, got it.
And that feels funny because I'm just floundering like everyone else.
Yeah.
Maybe the way we talk on the podcast forces you to talk with some authority. Pull your opinions out and stand behind them. But so it surprises me that people regard podcasters' opinion differently than they do anyone else.
I agree.
That makes sense.
Anything else? Anyone else?
Ken?
Max?
You know what question's coming.
I don't. Oh, is it about the freaking?
No.
Is tremulous in your question?
No.
Okay.
Do you guys plan on releasing any more live plays? No, just in general. Because at the beginning, those live plays were really good. I would love to hear you guys play more together as your group.
Yeah. There's no plans to stop it. Thanks.
We've had really bad scheduling issues, really, in getting the live plays back together on our end. It's really
But
awesome.
I believe it'll happen. I mean, we have a third part of a 3-part mini campaign, I guess, that we plan to do. But we talk about it a lot and it doesn't happen. I think the summer months have made it more difficult, and things are going to settle down a little bit in the fall. And then we'll get back to it. But we don't plan, we haven't meant to stop. We enjoy them. I think it's actually I think all AP's actual plays are interesting to listen to. I can't always listen to all of them, but they're just really instructive because you don't get that opportunity when you're either playing or keeping to sit back
Some
and...
of our APs are not.
No, that's definitely instructive.
Just going to throw that out there now.
It's a good lesson of what not to do.
Well, that's right. You go either way, right?
Yeah.
There's a scene on a train that is not what you want to do in a game.
You're seen on the train with John, yeah. So would you like to explain now for people who...
No.
Yes.
Things don't listen to
Yes,
live.
please. Explain. Come on.
Nope.
Come on.
No.
So in early actual play, John Hook was running a scenario with Dan and Murf even before I joined, and there was a scene where they're on a train and Murf, they're poking around in the luggage compartment and they hear noises, and Murf's solution was to just start throwing luggage out the window. So he's just committing a crime in order to make sure nobody, I don't know, notices him there? I'm not sure what
I was
happened.
mainly trying to mess with John.
Yeah, but it's become an infamous moment. It was funny, but yeah, so yeah, messed with John really bad, but I think he handled it pretty well. You guys ended up having breakfast
Not for
in
real.
the game. Yeah, and just get back on the rails, as it were. So, anyway.
I wasn't going to explain that, but oh well.
I did.
I know.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes.
What do you got? Can you tell us something about cults?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum.
They exist.
That's another joke that we're not going to go into right now.
It's a reference to a episode in which we were to cover cults, and Murf and I got a little tense with one another about the definition of cults, and I don't want to go over the details.
No, we will
really,
not.
really don't. But
Next question, please.
we had 2 minutes after that we were fine, but then the ire and the
I guess
vitriol was
came-
on the podcast,
yeah.
and we didn't realize it was going to
No,
last.
because we do that all the time, so we didn't realize it came through as we sounded like we hated each other or something.
Yeah.
Which isn't the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The comment, go back to the comment thread on that episode, it's kind of funny.
It's frightening.
Anything else? I saw something over here. Wait, I'm jumping rope.
If you could run a scenario using any character, regardless of copyright issues, who would it be and why?
Oh, man.
Who would be your dream character?
He's not copyrighted.
A scenario using a character as an NPC or
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, that's
or even the
fun.
bad guy.
It's a fun question, but it's overwhelming.
Narrow it down.
There's too many options.
Narrow it down.
Has anybody read Pigeons from Hell
Yeah.
by Robert E. Howard? I can't remember the characters' names, but I think I would love to have a scenario that's just completely based in that world, using those trappings and using those characters maybe as NPCs, maybe as a follow-up. I love that story so much. Huh?
Would you have a Zuvembi?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Zuvembi, yeah. Which became a comic book thing after a while. Yeah, I think in one of the Robert E. Howard comic books. Zuvembis, whatever that is.
I honestly cannot think of anything.
Yeah.
It's too many options.
It's the opposite. I mean, that's not necessarily my top pick, it just springs to mind, but I love that story.
Let's narrow it down to the villains then.
Villains. Villains? Like, who's a villain, really? They're all victims in Lovecraft. There's not... Yeah.
Then Killigast is a villain.
I don't know. A villain.
Is Joseph
Kind of a
Kerwin
victim as well, isn't he?
Yeah, kind of. Kerwin. Yeah. He's been used tangentially.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on Keziah villains. Keziah is great. Keziah is also used. Sorry?
It's from outside to bring in, so.
Outside of the mythos, you mean?
Yeah, any literature at all.
any-
Or art even.
Lou Radley would be a great villain. Right?
Who?
Who's with me?
Come on. What is he? You beat him with a swing?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ums in this.
I know, sorry. We'll edit that all out. This will sound super smooth.
Probably not.
No, because we're editing it this time. Dan doesn't edit this one, so what you hear is what you get. That's a really fun question that is the kind of thing I demand Dan to mention 3 or 4 days before the episode so I can think about.
That's a prep question.
Yeah.
I'm not prepped for. No, it's okay.
We now have prep topics and non-prep topics.
We'll answer it in the released version of this. And all of this will be removed.
Well, what about you? Do you have a villain that you would use that springs to mind? I'm gonna see.
See?
Yeah, see? How's it feel?
Yeah, you're gonna-
How's that feel?
The villain of.
Okay.
My favorite villain ever would have to be.
We're not on a time or anything, it's okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's why I checked. I'm not texting.
My favorite villain would have to be Connery and Sin from Star Trek universe.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
To be used in a scenario?
Yes.
I like it. Yes. Are you on our forum?
No.
Get on our forum and tell us how you would do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
please.
need all the free labor they can get.
Yeah. That's really
And then
what we did here.
they'll cut this part out and.
Yeah, no,
Be
it's
quiet.
No, you will not have
copyright issues. Wouldn't Dr. Doom be a great example?
Dr. Doom would be great.
Because he mixes magic and science together.
Sure.
Isn't that Lovecraft's bag anyway?
Mm-hmm, sure.
So he's just missing tentacles and he's good to go. But
Yeah.
copyright
Yeah,
issues
sure.
out the
Copyright does
window.
get in the way.
Copyright issues out of the way, there you go.
Why not use Gozer?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
See how your players handle that.
It's almost too easy though, really.
No, you just run them over with a staple up marker
Yeah.
and it shows up your screen.
A question I wanted to ask, what do we have, like 10?
I don't have a watch.
About 5.
Someone else
About
has a phone.
We really do, it's not that we're out of ideas for topics, but we would love to get more ideas for topics. Because we find that the listener feedback topics are now that we could put on record that you would be interested in us talking about.
Con men dealing with the Lovecraft mythos. They're trying to run a heist or a con or a grift or anything like that, and then that just sort of happens, and now they have to use their skills of conning people, in this case cultists or whatnot.
As players?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's interesting, using con men in a
Well, the 1920s and 30s were full of
Sure.
that. That's the reason why nowadays we have ID theft protection and fraud and all these kind of things, is because it was so rampant in that exact same time period. So I'm honestly surprised those two haven't mixed yet.
I like the idea. I could talk about that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
I got one.
Okay, you're right here. Sorry, I'll get to you.
New technologies that might make it easier to recreate ancient horrors.
Uh-huh, okay.
There was a book published recently called Red Equinox, and the horror in that, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was done in a really unique way, using 3D printing technology.
Cool.
to
So
recreate-
cutting edge
To
technology.
recreate outdated
Sure.
modes of creation.
I like it. Could you name the book again or spell it out? 'Cause
Red Equinox.
Red Equinox, okay.
Excellent
Easier
book.
than I thought. Okay. Cool.
Perhaps the idea of location as character. So many locations have so many characteristics. They can almost be like NPCs that your characters interact with. So maybe the idea of how not just the monster or the actual like named NPCs, but the actual location where the scenario or story takes place becomes like a character that you can interact with.
Yeah, I love that. That sounds great.
One more for you.
Yes, please.
There's a couple of scenarios or various books or even role-playing games where you play as the cultists. Kind of what ideas you might have around that, what would work, what didn't. I know we...
Oscar did a couple of those. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I know. There's
One of which
also...
plays ghouls.
And
You
there's
really
one
have to find
Magnus
cultists
has
to do
his
that,
Swedish cult game as well, which he's working on translating for us.
Right.
I did not write that.
No, but it's one that you've brought to our attention.
Yeah.
There's Dark Mirror as well. How
Right.
many people have actually played those things? What worked, what didn't? What ideas would you have?
To be
I think
fair,
us is the answer to most of those, Tristan. I don't know many more, unfortunately.
To be-
Especially the Swedish cult game, which is fantastic.
How would you define a Swedish cult?
Well, it's set in a particular setting.
Oh, I meant Murf in particular.
No.
Is the game cult?
The game is called The Swedish Cults.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's set in the universe of Swedish Lovecraftian author Anders Fager. So,
Cool.
It's really good stuff.
yeah, they basically
But it's all
just
As long as you speak Swedish.
yeah, they basically just took his writings and made it into a role-playing game.
And was it all like licensed cool and everything? Like the guy was behind it, the author?
Yeah.
Let's should make an English version. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome, yes.
Oh, and that's what you're doing?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Excellent.
Anyone else?
I think we're sort of out of time. If anybody has other ones, yeah?
Let's do it.
Okay, well, great.
4 minutes, is that what you're saying?
So
4 minutes, yeah.
3, 2, 1. We're ready to wrap up.
Yes,
But if you have other ones, if you think of other ones, please get them to us. You know, find us, buttonhole us, and we have one show, so we're gonna just read that now.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, you get to see this happen live. That's crazy.
Hello. We want to
to hear from our listeners, and we have a lot of different ways that you can reach out to us.
Our main contact email address is feedback@mu-podcast.com. We also have a Twitter account at mu_podcast, and you can join our RSC channel on the feedback page of the website.
We have a Providence, Rhode Island voicemail number. That's 401-400-MUP. That's 401-400-0687. Or you can use our SpeakPipe link located on the website. Ask a question, leave us a liner, say who you are, and I'm enrolled at the Miskatonic University podcast, and we'd love to get a hearty Go Pods for our home team, the Fighting Cephalopods.
Our website is mu-podcast.com, and you can find our show notes for this episode at mu-podcast.com/86 or maybe 87. It's possibly even 88, but those would be the number 86, 87, or something else.
Our forums are at mu-podcast.com/campus. Got it? Come join the community and be a part of the conversations.
Thank you to our patrons and for everyone who showed up to this when you didn't have to.
And this line I've never been able to read before.
Yeah, this is his first
So I'm
time.
super excited. Super excited. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Class is dismissed.
Can we get a big Go Pods?
Oh yeah, should we do a Go Pods?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go!